You replace every single drop of water in your body with heavy water, every cell, every tear, every drop of sweat. At first, nothing feels different. The taste is nearly identical. But inside, your biological gears are starting to grind to a sudden, silent halt. Heavy water looks like water. It tastes like water. But the hydrogen atoms have an extra neutron. This tiny addition makes the molecule heavier. The body treats it like normal water, absorbing it into every tissue. The blood thickens slightly. The cytoplasm in your cells becomes a dense slurry. Everything seems fine for now. But the subtle change in atomic mass is currently rewriting the rules of your internal chemistry. Biology relies on speed, specifically the speed of chemical reactions. Heavy water introduces the kinetic isotope effect. Deuterium forms stronger bonds than normal hydrogen. These bonds are harder to break. Enzymes, the workers of the cell, suddenly find their jobs much more difficult. They struggle to snap molecular bonds. Metabolic pathways slow down. Every single chemical reaction in your body takes a fraction longer to complete. It sounds negligible. A millisecond here, a microsecond there, but life is a synchronized dance of billions of reactions per second. When the tempo drops, the dance falls apart. Your mitochondria begin to lag, energy production stutters. The cellular engine is now idling in a thick atomic syrup. You might think a little sluggishness is manageable. Maybe you just need a nap, but your cells are not tired, they are physically incapable of dividing. The machinery of mitosis has encountered a structural glitch. The biological clock has simply stopped ticking. Cell division is where the disaster peaks. Mitosis requires the precise movement of chromosomes and the rapid synthesis of proteins. With heavy water, the spindle fibers struggle to pull DNA apart. The chemical signals that trigger division become muffled. The timing is off. Cells attempt to divide but get stuck halfway. This is not a graceful shutdown. It is a systemic crash. Your skin stops regenerating. The lining of your gut begins to erode because the cells cannot replace themselves. Your bone marrow fails to produce new white blood cells. The immune system vanishes. Your body is now a collection of aging cells with no replacements arriving. The biological conveyor belt has snapped. You are effectively a living statue made of slowing chemistry, waiting for the first organ to realize that the replenishment shipment is never coming. The internal infrastructure is collapsing. The nervous system is next. Neurons communicate via ion channels and rapid electrical pulses. This process depends on the precise movement of water molecules and ions across membranes. Heavy water changes the viscosity of the cellular environment. The delicate balance of osmotic pressure shifts. Water moves slower. Potassium and sodium ions struggle to navigate the dense fluid. Synaptic transmission lags. Thoughts become muddy. Reflexes disappear. The brain is essentially trying to send electrical signals through a medium that has become too thick to handle the traffic. At the same time, the heart's pacemaker cells begin to drift. The rhythmic electrical spark that keeps the heart beating starts to flutter. The timing of the contraction is based on molecular kinetics. With the kinetic isotope effect in full swing, the heartbeat becomes irregular. The heart is no longer a pump. It is a struggling muscle fighting against an atomic anchor. Every beat requires more effort for less result. The cardiovascular system is now operating in slow motion. Total systemic failure arrives. The lungs struggle to exchange gases because the surfactant fluid in the alveoli is now too heavy to maintain surface tension. Lungs begin to collapse under their own weight. Oxygen levels plummet. The blood, now a heavy deuterium-rich sludge, barely reaches the brain. Carbon dioxide builds up in the tissues, turning the blood acidic. This acidity further degrades the remaining enzyme functions. The body enters a state of metabolic acidosis. Every organ is now fighting a losing battle against its own composition. The kidneys fail to filter the heavy sludge. Edema sets in as fluid pools in the wrong places. The skin takes on a pale, translucent quality as the capillaries leak. You are not just dying, you are becoming a chemically inert object. The biological processes that define life are being replaced by the cold, slow physics of a heavier isotope. The transition is complete. You are no longer a biological entity. You are a human-shaped vessel of heavy water, a biological experiment in slow-motion collapse. The final spark of consciousness flickers out as the neurons finally stop firing entirely. The silence is absolute. In the end, the kinetic isotope effect wins. By replacing light hydrogen with deuterium, the very foundation of your biochemistry was sabotaged. The bonds were too strong. The reactions were too slow. The cells were too heavy. You did not die from a poison or a virus. You died because your internal chemistry simply forgot how to happen at the correct speed. It was a death by 1,000 tiny delays, a biological tragedy caused by a single extra neutron. Your body is eventually recovered by a confused coroner. The autopsy reveals no cause of death until the lab notices the water in your tissues is 10% heavier than normal. The medical examiner sighs. He has never seen this particular mistake before. Your insurance company denies the claim, citing the incorrect isotope clause in the fine print. This is a very expensive way to die. Subscribe to the What If Club.